going on, guys? Back in the shop today, finally. It's been about 2 weeks. I was at a bachelor party and stuff. Couldn't get back in the shop. Still messing with my clutch. Still not getting anywhere. I think I'm gonna have to take it apart. I'm gonna take the slave cylinder out and try to switch it out with a different slave cylinder. Try to re-bleed it and everything. Not really getting anywhere with that. But I did have a couple of you guys ask me some questions on different things like the throttle cable that I used and then the fuel system that I used. So I do read your guys' comments. I do like that you guys give me comments on like videos that you'd like to see, different things that you'd like to have me cover. I do read those comments and everything, and I really appreciate that, so keep that up. Let me know anything that you guys want to see how I did, or anything that you want to see different in the videos. But I'll go ahead and show you guys all of the things that I've done on the throttle cable, and no idea what that was. Throttle cable, fuel, let's get it. Alright, here's the throttle pedal. I don't know if you are going to be able to see it very well, but there's just a modified, this is the factory 350Z hanger right there, or bracket, whatever you want to call it. And I believe this is like a LS1, or it's almost like a truck pedal. And I actually didn't make this, somebody sent it to me. But it goes up there to the end of a cable. Right there you can see how there's just like a little clamp on the end of the rod that went all the way down to the end of the pedal. There's a low car cable attached to that. I drilled a hole right by the boot that comes in for the body harness right there. It's up there kind of towards the steering shaft boot, but you can see that the cover right there comes through the firewall. I drilled a hole in the secondary firewall, ran it up and around over the top of the intake. This right here, if I can focus on it, that's a low car throttle cable bracket. You got to get that, or this won't work right. You can, I've seen people modify them, but they're not that expensive. Just go ahead and get them, because then you can do all of your adjustment right here with like lengthening and shortening it. The throttle cable in here is the low car. I believe it's like a 46 or 48 inch. You want to get the longest one they have, because, well, I had to. Some people say that you can use the shorter one. I bought 3 of the shorter ones and kept messing them up. Decided that I'd just buy the biggest one and then cut it to size. And I think I bought the biggest one and only took off maybe an inch or 2. But it goes down and they give you this little fitting at the bottom that it goes straight into the factory location of the like where the factory throttle cable went in. Goes perfect. It was easy to adjust, so like right there you can tell it's all the way closed, and then when I give it full throttle, I do have full throttle on the throttle body. Pretty easy. I would definitely recommend low car. It's a really easy setup. Didn't take me long at all. You 100% want to get the longest cable that they have. Again, I think it's 48 inches or something like that. I'll put the link down in the description for the throttle cable and throttle cable bracket that I used. Next, I'm going to show you the fuel system that I ran. I actually didn't put that together myself. I bought it from a guy from the LSZG page on Facebook. I'll try to put a link to that down in the description as well. I'm sure we're always looking for more people to be on there, so I'm sure that we'll be able to get you on our site there too. But it's a Whirlpool, I can't remember the number, fuel pump, and it's put into the factory hanger, fuel pump hanger. Gone up to some Dash 8 AN fittings from Aeromotive fuel lines, and there's a fuel filter on one of them. Goes all the way up and underneath the car, comes up, and then I'll show you up here the fuel rail setup that I've got. I did it a little bit different than everybody else. The guy who actually sold it to me gave me the idea, and I really liked what it was. I'll explain that more in a second. I'm going to go into the car and show you how it looks on top of the fuel pump. For those of you that don't know, your fuel pump is behind the passenger seat, down underneath the there's like a little cubby back here, and I'm gonna open that up. You take these little tabs, the little black tabs right there, and you twist them, and then it'll come right out of the holes. Just lift up on it, and then there's gonna be a plug right there. You can see the wire that goes down into the fuel pump. Now I've got that all opened up. You can see there's like a little adapter that you have to get on there, the one on the top side of it. You can see the dash 8 fittings and lines. The big one right there it'd be on your right side right now, is the feed line, and then the one on the left side is a return line. I decided not to do the whole adapter kit that Sicky does. They do like have one that you can buy, but I just wanted to run dash 8 lines all the way up to the front. Like I said, I ran those all the way underneath the car, just straight down the front of the tank. It wasn't too hard to do. I'd kind of like to reroute them sometime in the near future, but I don't know, it's good for now. I'm going to probably do that when I've got a lift and everything. I plan on getting a shop and a lift at some point in the next year or two. But for now, it's fine. I've got them all like tucked up and zip tied out of the way. They make these little hangers. I don't know if I can, I'll try to go over here and find one of the little hangers that you can use. Yeah, I've got one right here. These little things right here are what you're gonna want to hang up your fuel lines with. You can get them at auto parts stores. I can't remember, just fuel line hangers, so it doesn't chafe the line and split it. And then obviously fuel leaks, fire, death and destruction, you don't want that. I would definitely recommend getting those. I can try to find a link to those and put those in the description as well. Now where it comes up into the engine bay, gotta find my light again. Don't know if you can see down in there, but I've got them running up. I don't like how close they are to the headers. Right now I've just got them zip tied out of the way, but you can see them down there. I don't like how close the fuel lines are to the headers, but we'll figure that out later. The feed line comes up to the back and it tees in. I've bought the Holley EFI fuel rails. I think I've shown you that in a video before, but I've got a little T-head right there that goes into the back of the left side, passenger side fuel rail, and goes over to this one. So both of those are getting feed. Both the left side and the right side fuel rail are getting the feed line. So fuel is coming from the back of the engine up to the front. This side and this side both go over to the fuel regulator, which is also a Aeromotive fuel regulator. That way both sides are getting equal pressure. A lot of times when you have just one feed line, a crossover, and then one return line to the fuel rail, you'll get unequal pressure on one of the cylinders or some of the cylinders, and then bad day. But then it goes there, and then there's a return line underneath it, goes back to the tank, goes back in down there and like recirculates back into the tank. I hope this video helped some of you guys out a little bit. I know a couple of you were asking the questions about the throttle setup and the fuel setup. I want you guys to let me know if there are any other questions that you guys have. I'm always happy to come back out here and show you anything. I know one of the guys on Facebook the other day asked me about the plugs that are over by the battery, and I mean, I was more than happy to come out here and take a picture for him, tell him how I ran them and what they were for. Any questions you guys have, go ahead and drop me a comment, or if you go into the email section, send me an email, and I'd be more than happy to make a video, because you're probably not the only one that's got a question about it. Just like I've already said in the video, keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing, keep subscribing, most importantly. That's how we're going to get the channel to where I want it to be, and where I hope I can make it be for you guys. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's all I've got for you guys today. Peace out and Godspeed.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town.